And town hall's pretty essential to the meeting.
Yes, so they both, can we wait for a few minutes? Or? Yeah.
Mr. Jerry, how you doing?
Man, I am just barely holding on, you know, I'm at the end of the rope, I'm trying to just tie a knot in it so I can hold on. How y'all doing? Good. Gotta have hope. You gotta have hope, faith.
You know, where it feels good.
So this is 6 inches too wide.
6 inches too wide.
Okay.
And
Hi, Tim, this is Angie from the America 250.
they're gonna have 64.
Okay, so, are you familiar with where Sadie's is, right there on Garnet? Okay, so it's on the side, there's a side entrance on the side of Sadie's. Yes, all right. I did the same thing, so you're on there. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
So that would be 61.
Yes. He might be talking to her, let me see.
She's out there.
Let me see.
Yeah, she's got it. Okay.
Okay. I won't talk to her. Thanks. I can take a picture of this, because I need everybody's.
So we gotta order 61 new ones. So 61 new ones, you can get. Like I said,
Hi.
probably order
Sorry.
roughly.
I had no idea this was here.
I'm working at the library on the Veterans Walk, so I'm just kind of,
So we come
the last second.
18. So
I knew this was a.
because not bad, because the cost of the grant.
I'm walking up and down the street.
They did
Well,
the price.
I was at the director's office, she had no idea. Okay, here we go.
Barbara, we're already live, so you can start anytime.
I didn't know if you started ahead of me. All right, so we're calling to order. All right, we did the roll call already? Roll call. I'm here, Bart Harrison.
Andy Ryan, I'm here.
Okay, Angie Ryan, Charles Bullock, Jerry Edmonds from Blackburn, Ryan Schaefer with the EDC in for Mr. Rouse, Barbara Harrison, Dr. Tim Hall, and I have Kendrick
Van.
Van.
Kendrick's man,
Yes.
And
you're on the board too?
No. I'm appointed by city manager and city county manager to assist with the program.
okay,
Not on the board. I'm not on the board.
Okay, and how about you?
I'm not,
You're not on the board either?
I'm not.
Okay. You are here
I'm
as the
here.
public?
So he's on my recreation advisory committee. He's already been doing some work in this area.
Okay,
So when we talk about bringing people to come help, I think he'll be a crucial part of us getting some things.
it was Charles Bullock?
Dr. Charles Bullock.
Okay. I guess we're supposed to approve some minutes. I haven't seen any minutes. No, we are moving on. We'll bring that up next meeting. Updates and follow-ups, McGregor Hall outreach, Andy Ryan.
Yes, if anybody has contact with Matt now, please let me know what it is. I have an email address for him, mattnow@mcgregorhall.org. I've been by there. I've also emailed, called this phone number, 252-598-0662, which is the main number, left messages for him, and also at the info@mcgregorhall.org. I have not had any correspondence with him. So does anybody else have information and how I can reach him?
Tim.
I thought I sent some,
Yes,
Do
yeah,
you have a different contact other than this man?
hold on one second, let me,
Mark Hopper is the executive director. You had sent around
yeah,
an email recommending that we get in touch with Mark Hopper. I stopped by there and talked to Morgan McFalls, and he also said that the person we needed to talk to would be Mark Hopper. And here's his card and information.
Okay.
And it was also in an email that, Tim.
He gave me this man to speak to when I stopped in there.
Mark Hopper gave you Matt Nowell.
No.
Morgan McFalls gave you Matt Nowell.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay,
Mark is the executive director, so he's
okay, I
the
will-
senior guy there, and
okay.
Did you all get the email that I sent out, the information that I found out in McGregor Hall? I sent it out, I sent out a group email. You got
I
it?
thought I saw one group, I don't recall who.
Tim, you included it.
There seems like there's a lot of emails floating, going around on different things, so.
We should see if it's in your spam then. I thought it would be a good idea if we touch base, started an in-between week to update us, so that way we weren't beating our head against the wall every single week. Dr. Tim Hall, did you get the email?
yeah, I've gotten some emails,
Okay, you
yeah,
got some emails, right?
yeah, so,
Let me see if I have another copy of it.
Okay, I have the email right here. I guess.
You see where they got $21,000 grant from the
yeah,
arts?
I got that email,
That
yeah.
way. And then,
Right here.
and then I gave you the name of the other hall that actually came up with a program. It sounded like it would be a direct competitor type thing, so that's why I sent you as much information as I possibly could.
who got the 21,000?
McGregor Hall,
Oh, okay.
right?
So
I
they
didn't know if
already
did.
have some funding to do.
Yeah, they received from North Carolina Arts. They applied for a grant. They were awarded the $21,000, but I don't know what their project might be. So that was why I sent you, if we ever are able to reach them, maybe they already have a program because a direct competitor just ran off of the program where they did the American Revolution, the new PBS program. They actually aired that at the Thielen Hall.
Mhm.
They had applied for a grant as well to do an America 250 program. And it was exactly what you wanted to do, the musical of 1776. They did not do that. They changed, so they may have had a problem with doing that one. Yeah, because I sent you the flyer of what they were advertising, their program.
In Chestnut Street, Wilmington.
Yeah.
That was, okay.
Right. And I think it was like November 8th. I think PBS is airing it November 15th. But they did a pre-screening of that, and they called it an America 250. Right, so that there may be problems with getting the musical for 1776. But they were able to switch the grant and do the other one, so. Okay. And then we are on the BGCC, unless you have something else to add.
So I am going to contact, Mark and ask him
If they have an America 250 project
Right.
already going, then maybe we
and
can.
mention this grant and ask,
Yeah,
like,
they-
if
there was
it's
only
not
two.
the, right, but if they have a program that's planned,
Exactly.
and what exactly it is.
Right, do they
Okay.
have, are they,
Mhm.
right, because the grant was for administrative, sustaining, as well as programs,
Okay,
but with no other definition but that.
okay.
But I would also ask him specifically whether they would consider having staging 1776.
Yeah, I always thought about calling the family to find out why the hall switched and left the 1776, that they got the grade where it went with the PBS American Revolution. To find out what the issue was.
I think that, the screening of the American Revolution might be a little bit cheaper and because it's coming out this fall, there was a big push for that. So that might be what happened.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
Right. Maybe it was, easier to get.
easier to get.
PBS at this point, as it was struggling, so it might have been
Yeah.
just a lot easier to get from there.
Which that could be an option for us as well, I think, to consider, because that's one that, if you're thinking about schools and how there's lots of materials associated with that documentary, and we can incorporate into, the curriculum stuff. So it lasts the impact.
They did a question and answer on their flyer afterwards, if anybody had questions in them. Yeah,
Excellent.
but it is about to be on PBS on November 15th.
Yeah.
And they actually have on YouTube the making of the actual America, that particular, if you're interested.
So, if it's gonna be on PBS, why would you go to McGregor Hall to see it?
So that's a good question. So and just from my experience with the North Carolina Council for Social Studies and that stuff, like what people like to do is they'd like to see it together in a community and be able to talk about it. You would have like a, kind of like a discussion forum before it or after, a panel discussion. You invite some teachers in, some scholars, or, get some local personages to make some commentary on it and then provide that.
Okay.
So that's what typically happens. So, that's a great question. So the other one PBS is working with a lot is the Wilmington coup of 1898. And so that's on YouTube and freely available, but they're still doing screenings all around North Carolina with the same idea, panel discussions, getting students involved, that type of thing. Yeah, good question.
The VGCC Community Band Concert Planning? That's new.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Okay, so what is this?
So, I shared with everyone within the email a couple of days ago that I spoke with Brian Miller, and Brian is the musical director of the Vance Community College Community Band. As the name implies, the community band is made up of members throughout the community. It's not students. They convene at Vance Community College, and as fate would have it, I was in the Civic Center attending another event, and they were rehearsing a couple of days ago and had the opportunity to commandeer Mr. Miller and present with him the opportunity to, we talked about having the band play patriotic songs and do some kind of concert at some point in time in conjunction with America 250. He was very positive about it and said, of course, he would present it to the musicians. And I haven't had the opportunity to follow up with him on that, but I will. And we'll see how it goes. I think at this point, I'm assuming it's going to be a thumbs up. He was really optimistic about it. I've done some additional research, and I do know that they have in their repertoire those songs probably at the ready. So it's not going to be like they're rehearsing.
Having to research.
Yeah, they're not having
Rehearse a lot, right?
Yeah. So we'll see. I think the next step, if they say yes, that we would have to nail down, or they may not say yes until we can nail down a specific date. We said April timeframe would work better. I think you said, so if we come up with a specific date, I think that would give them more to work with.
And I had suggested that he might also consider getting with that, I don't know the name of it, the North Carolina Central Chorus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not NCCU. There's a choir up in this area
Oh,
that performs in this area. It's like 100 people or something.
oh, wow.
And they sometimes perform at McGregor Hall or churches and things like that. And I think Joellen Nowell, the mother of Matt Nowell, is one of the key people in that choir. And so they could join with the community band.
Okay. But it's not affiliated with North Carolina Central, it's not, because for years, Central's choir would come up and do a holiday concert. And I know that Leo Kelly was instrumental in making that connection with Central. So that's the community band update.
So how do we move forward on that?
I think we
Setting up,
set a date or give them a couple of dates to choose from,
Yeah, so.
date and time.
So I met with Mr. Markoch, who's our Director of Fine Arts, and just talking about, Arts Alive, which is a program that we do every year. I'm afraid, disappointingly, we are not going to be able to put Arts Alive on this year. So that is not happening this year, not in the way it has happened in the past. So I am meeting with him and the Fine Arts Department on Monday and kind of going over, like I met with them preliminary, and I'm going to go over the America 250 and go over the themes with them. And we're going to think about ways that maybe we could possibly do something that could be related to Vance America 250 and be able to see if we can, help out, see what we can do. But yeah, Arts Alive is not going on this year.
okay, I'm confused. Was there some significance to Arts Alive in order to have this concert, or?
Yeah, so Arts Alive was what we had talked about last time, is maybe having Arts Alive happen, but also have some America 250 connection to it and be able to work those themes into the Arts Alive celebration. But now Arts Alive is not happening.
And when did it, was there a certain week during a certain month?
It was usually during, I think, March or April, if I remember rightly.
In the Mars earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so suppose we don't have that,
Mhm.
and instead we have this concert put on, and the schools are invited. Can that happen?
That can happen. Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Okay,
But Arts Alive as being some kind of vehicle to be able to integrate the themes is not going to be something that we can do. Now, we have discussed, of course, that the Center for Innovation, we have an auditorium, and we do have that available, and there's a possibility, of course, I would have to go and talk to all the people involved, but being able to host events there as well, if McGregor Hall appears to be too much. Because I just from Mr. Markoch, the price from McGregor Hall that he gave me seemed expensive, and he said that was actually a reduced price.
What was that price?
That price was, I want to say, $6,500. But that was much reduced for the situation.
Right. And that was just for like 3 hours?
Well, there's, again, Mr. Markoch could do a better job explaining. There was preparation, there were 4 days involved. Like there was tech prep, like 2 days before, and then the day of, and then that night. So
Okay,
I think there was some other stuff involved too.
right.
So I do feel like McGregor Hall is going to be a costly
Yes.
endeavor. So if that's the case, then maybe we could consider the Center for Innovation.
Right, that's why I thought that we could find out if they do have an America 250 program, but if we ever reach them.
and it seats how many?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure it's more than 500.
It probably is.
So,
Well, the balcony is not, don't use the balcony.
No, don't use the balcony anymore. Yeah.
So it's probably around 350 downstairs.
so I'm still I'm shocked at I thought McGregor Hall, since it was a, community place, that it would make its facility available.
Well,
for
I mean,
stuff like this for free.
I don't know any of that. But I think that's a conversation that you all can have. And maybe it will be, some help or some reduction, or I don't know. I mean,
So that's,
Yeah, that's why I was hoping they might already have a program.
yeah. So that would be something, Angie, that maybe you could talk over with Mark as well. Will they make their, facility available? Particularly since, this would be during, I would assume you could do it midweek when they're not producing anything.
Yeah, we gotta
Or
reach them,
using, huh?
we gotta reach them and then find out what their schedule is. If they'd even do it, like what options are available.
Is there any issue with getting the students there, busing them from their?
to McGregor.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, but I'm gonna just be frank with you here, busing's also gonna be a difficult thing as well, just because of finances. So busing costs money, and money is something that we're having some difficulty with. So, but that being said, not saying, but we would have, it's not something just like that, but we would work through it.
So we, obviously, Vance Community College, we would be happy to host something like this at a much reduced price. The caveat being that we need to know early. I mean, the
Right.
Civic Center is booked a year in advance.
Right.
A lot of times, so that's why it's important for us to get a date, a time.
Right,
Some of the busing could be alleviated because obviously we have the early college
Yeah,
right
that would
there.
be, yeah.
So perhaps a noon program prior to school adjourning in May would be an option, but we,
the logistics are hard, yeah.
it feels fast. I can't emphasize enough how much the Civic Center is utilized. And once someone books it, we don't bump
Right.
people for the president or vice president or anyone else. So, yeah.
So booking the time and then deciding upon what would happen during that time.
So why don't we just see what dates are available in that time frame, and if you can, and just present it to us, and we got a program around what's available.
Okay. I'll get with Cedar, the manager of the Civic Center, and see what she has, get on her calendar. So we're talking late March, early April.
Yeah.
so,
Because then we can let the
Weekday.
community and know
Any particular day
what
better?
dates are.
No,
And that may not work for them either.
short time,
Right.
whatever days
We
are
have a
available.
couple of dates.
Right.
Penciled in until we can finalize with them that they can make it happen too.
so on the agenda at the last meeting, there was a section about forming subcommittees. The idea being that, for instance, this event, you have a subcommittee, you don't have to get the whole committee together, and it doesn't, they can work off, I assume they don't have to be set up with, whatever system is set up. They can actually go meet face to face with Mark Hopper and work out the details and get the job done. So I had sent around an email with I don't know if y'all got that, with this proposal for subcommittees. And I had proposed that we have a subcommittee for the retractable banners, a subcommittee for events, and a subcommittee for, a subcommittee for the Veterans Memorial and street banners.
I honestly did not see that email. I've been working.
I did,
Is there any
it's,
copies of what he had?
Yes.
Let's see if this is the whole thing.
Thank you.
Yes. Because I think it's too cumbersome to have a weekly meeting, find out about, the next step that needs to be taken.
Yeah, that's what I said in my email, is that we have to start conversing during the week or we're never gonna make it.
And I think you have to break it down into subcommittees that can concentrate so that,
Yeah, you took it a
Yes.
step further. So
so,
we'll be doing this our whole lives. This'll never get done. Because we're like, well, Tim's gotta go back and you gotta talk to your committee and then we have to wait for your answer the next week and that's if it happens.
yeah,
Right, and then it'll just,
Yeah.
right, I agree.
So, as a backup, is there any way, Tim, you can contact them about Vance County High Schools band to probably put something on?
Yeah.
I don't know the course y'all talking about, but like, I think if you integrate more than one act as a backup, then Deacon and Henderson Collegiate Band is really doing
yeah.
a lot of.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, that will be the conversation I'm having with the Fine Arts Group on Monday. So I'm going to go to the meeting and Mr. Markoch will be there as well. And we'll talk about ways that we can, what ways can we as a school system be able to connect in with those themes and help with the celebration.
Has anyone spoke to Ms. Stallings? Alice Stallings? She's with the Art Council. Here for here, anyway. She had a group at Juneteenth. Drummers.
Okay, then we're moving on. Tim, we're moving on to you, the banner development updates.
okay, so there are two kinds of banners we're talking about. Street banners, which recognize the people from Vance County who were killed in any wars.
Right.
And the retractable banners, which are on themes, relating to the 250th celebration. At a meeting of the Perry Memorial Library Foundation on Monday, they approved a grant of up to $10,000 for retractable banners. The retractable banners will cost approximately $230 to $250 a piece.
And how many banners were you thinking about getting?
However, if you get 4,000 times 10,000 is,
Thank you.
40. And doesn't that work out to 40?
Yeah.
That's not that good.
Yeah.
We talked about the retractable banners. I know we talked about the book in the library for the QR code, the information on the veterans from the banners.
No, we got two different kinds of banners. This is a street banner. It's gonna
Right,
hang on
that's
the
what you brought
streets.
in, right.
Then there's a banner that's freestanding that you can, you can deploy at various places. Jerry was gonna deploy some of them out at the community college. Tim was gonna deploy some in schools.
Okay.
We talked about deploying some in the,
I just assumed it was the same banner. I didn't realize we'd have to produce two banners.
no, it's not two banners. Okay,
Right,
so this
The street
banner
banner.
that's it's gonna hang up on the street.
right,
And it's
I got
gonna have veterans on it.
Right.
But then there's gonna be a entirely different thing, a retractable banner that stands 6 feet tall and it's freestanding.
Right.
It has its own standing. And they would be on a variety of things, on these themes that the state had recommended that we discussed last time.
right.
So for instance, under the Black experience, you've got this thing I passed out. We might have a banner on John Chavis. We might have a banner on Thomas Day.
Right,
We might have a banner on Shiloh Baptist
I
Church.
get all that,
And
but
they-
then,
we might
who's gonna
have
do
one.
all this research?
Huh?
Who's gonna do all the research?
I have all of this already.
Oh, okay, all right,
So I've done, I have been doing, talks, PowerPoint talks, and collected the images. And when I prepared, most of these subjects are covered up in the Vance County Museum. So I have all that stuff. And, my understanding from what Tim said the last time is you don't have a great deal of text. You have several images and a very little bit of text, not much more than captions.
Yeah.
But you have QR codes,
right.
and then you can point your phone, I don't know exactly how these work. You have the QR code, and it will give you access to additional information.
Which must be hosted by a website.
Yes, and we've discussed that.
We
last
discussed
time.
that as well.
Okay, what were, who was gonna host it?
I mean, I think we could talk to, I mean, the town or, about that or somebody, even Vance County Schools. And again, I would have to talk to them, but just have to really have a simple WordPress, webpage that you could be able to update on a regular basis. WordPress, I think costs, I mean, my website costs about $10 a month,
Right,
so I mean, it's not, hard to hold that together.
still
And the-
somebody would have to pay that subscription every single year, and the minute it's not paid, the QR code is no good.
That's right. But
Right.
QR codes and that type of stuff, website, code, URLs, all, have problems eventually. People have, that happens. But we would find out a way, maybe we could, just guarantee, a certain amount of years or, see what we could do. Or, I mean, if that's not a route, I mean, we could still do Google Pages. I think Google Pages is free of charge.
So basically, that would be something that the subcommittee on that could work out, talking with each other and all that. But I'm telling you is that the funding is available.
Okay,
You've got the money, and I could, depending on, the idea would be for Tim to take this list of all these possible themes and things, and take them to his faculty people, and they would go down this list and say, we'd like John Chavis, and we'd like James Hunter Young,
okay,
and we'd like Jubilee Hospital.
right,
And they pick out of a menu of potential, retractable banners.
yeah,
They'd say, these are the ones we want to go forward with.
but
That
I
list
remember
then
Jerry
gets
was
turned over to
talking,
me.
you were saying that we had to hit every single one, we couldn't leave anybody out.
I was saying that would be my recommendation.
That would be your recommendation.
Because, how do we as a committee make the decision of who's left out?
I agree.
That's right.
So thus far, and I also have taken on, if everyone's okay with it, the Latinx experience. I made contact with one of my colleagues who has some strong contacts there, and actually the VGCC Foundation, she works for the foundation, and they've kind of committed to giving us some assistance with the Latinx. So we have a number of those 10 covered.
Okay,
And I also found a really good book. My president actually had a book on the protest and the counter protest in Vance County. So I do have some.
all right, so
Nice.
that's something on that too, okay.
Yeah. So the ones that I took responsibility for coming out of the last meeting was what you already heard, the band, the protests, there was something else. And now the Latinx, and also the Henderson Collegiate, which was a part of the Black experience. And then the final bit of research that I've done is, I mentioned that we have some, similar to Tim, we have some of that, from Black History Month. We have some of those, not the banners like this, but the corrugated type of posters that can be used for, if we wanted to do, what I thought about is us doing like a traveling exhibit where we could hit each of these. We could have some kind of a poster or two for each of these, and it could travel from Ritter Hall to Vance Granville to wherever we wanted it to go, City Hall, or wherever we would like for it to go.
And the North Carolina America 250 has traveling exhibits.
Yes,
We should be able to reach out to them
we
to
have one
get some pointers.
coming in February.
Right.
So, and that's something that we can tie to this group as well too, so. But I like the idea of having all themes hit upon. You definitely gonna have to make sure that you gain representation from all the voices and then be able to, put those on the banners and make it a traveling exhibit and then be able to move that from school to school, or site to site, wherever,
Right.
library or wherever.
So, you've got the funding for 40 banners. I don't think you can accommodate 40 banners at any particular school. I think what you can do is break them up into groups and circulate them around.
Yeah,
And so you can do them that way. And, the ones I've listed here, they're the ones I already have existing material for, don't need to go anywhere. And that is the natural selection process of what I'm able to provide. So if you have resources to provide additional ones, but, I think you would want the, faculty to help make that selection of what they would want to cover. So Tim, do you have a photo of one of these retractable banners?
yeah,
That I
so,
can look at and see what they look like?
yeah. Those are the ones that were with us in February.
These are all of the things.
Those are from the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History.
Just paying attention.
Well, these have right much text on them.
They do, they're a little text heavy, I would say. Like they're a little text heavy in comparison to some other ones. So yeah, they're a little text heavy.
All right, and, so,
And you can make them text heavy if you want, but I'm telling you, just watching students with them,
No, I think you're right.
too much text is, those are too much text. I'm looking forward to seeing what the America 250 from North Carolina sends.
okay. No, I agree fully with you.
Then you could divide the banner, like if we did have 40, then you could divide them up amongst all the themes and just, like if a teacher wants to work with this particular theme. Yeah,
Okay, so can you
yeah,
email that to me? Or
yeah, I can email you several of them.
email?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be useful in doing that. So, that's on the retractable banners. On the, street banners, at the last meeting, I had not had any official word from the Polk Foundation about the funding yet.
Right.
And we have now received it, and it's being fully funded. The grant proposal that we sent in.
What you sent in, they have granted it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have the funding for the street banners and the funding for the retractable banners.
Excellent.
So we can move forward on both of those. And is that all I am to report on? Yes.
What was those totals?
Um,
10 for the, street banners?
Yes. And, 38,000 for the, no, 38,000 for the street banners. And that includes also the memorial book. So, so both of those projects are included in that funding. And, $10,000 for the retractable banners.
That's great. I guess, the tourism, me and, Pam spoke. And, recreation, since she's gonna concentrate on 4th of July, we're gonna concentrate on Juneteenth. So we are going to concentrate on Juneteenth events. Mr. Blackburn gave me a great idea. I'm gonna call a favor into my Uncle Andre, and we're gonna try to do educational, segments. With him speaking on the Black experience, because he has a couple books here. But my staff is meeting, early next week, so hopefully I hear something, but they, I tasked them to wrap around activities and events for this event. So we probably have, on top of Juneteenth, 2 or 3 other events that we should be able to have at, some plan for the hand. So.
Would you anticipate those other events being during the week, or?
We're gonna spread them out.
Okay, because Juneteenth falls on a Saturday
Yes.
next year.
Yeah.
Or 2026.
Yes.
So
So we doing it on June 28th. What day is that on? That's the event we doing. That gotta be a Saturday.
that's the following Saturday.
So you've already set up the date and everything to do the, Juneteenth, did you already have that set up, or is
June,
that this week?
No, that's on a Sunday. We're setting the fireworks show and everything.
It's on a Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
We're doing it on the Sunday.
And one of the reasons I asked is that June is such a busy month with graduations and class reunions and things of that nature. So I know for one, our foundation is planning around Juneteenth. So we have a scholarship banquet, and sometimes it clashes. So I was just looking at the calendar today, and we're gonna have ours on the 13th, the weekend prior to that. But that's why I asked, is it gonna eat up 2 weekends or just?
No. We're gonna spread it out because we don't.
During the week.
Well, I'm glad we got 250 because I don't have to do a 4th of July,
Yeah.
event.
Okay.
So we do, like, Japan have 4th of July, we have Juneteenth,
Okay.
and we're gonna spread out events throughout those, but it's not always. gonna be
Throughout the week. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And not doing that, just doing that month, like, we're gonna try to hit, I'm gonna try to test them on doing something where they got the, African American Quiz Bowl in February.
Yeah, okay.
So then we're gonna have have an event in March, right around the leading up to something, so like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to get them to concentrate on some of these things. Just what we're gonna be just concentrating on the African American experience, because my auntie gonna go crazy with it. So I'm trying to spread out. So I plan on trying to have an event each month, starting in February, going up to the 4th of July.
Okay.
That's my inspiration, so.
And just want to put in a plug for, I don't know if you've heard of Sonny Kelly. So he's Dr. Sonny Kelly does this one-man show, the ongoing fight for freedom, stories of North Carolina Black veterans. I saw it, and I'll send you all the information. It's really good. It's a 75-minute show, but it's a one-man performance. He does the whole thing. And he's been at the North Carolina Council of Social Studies conference. He does it other places as well. So if somebody's looking for something to put in, he's also working with the America 250 North Carolina as well. So that might be something for us to consider. I know we were thinking about Ken Burns' American Revolution, but his might be a really good one. Well, I know it'd be good. I saw it. It was great. So.
And probably haven't been in this area.
No, it hasn't. I tried like 2 years ago, but I couldn't get,
Does he have a financial tab with it?
Yes, he does. I forget how much that was, but I think that's what the issue was when I asked him this last time.
I would ask the question, as we're going through so many possible events and looking at the specifics of those details, I'm just thinking about, America 250, the whole ideal of the celebration. I mean, what do we hope that people will actually take away from it? I mean, how will it impact their lives, actually? I mean, of course, we can go to an event and we listen to someone, we feel the music is wonderful, and then we go home. So, I mean, what is this group, what is its hope that people will actually gain from participating or attending these events?
So I can go.
Yeah,
We spoke
go.
about this last meeting, is that I think a lot of what you're hearing is a history lesson. A history lesson of Vance County and what's going on here over the past 250 years. I was just about to mention that Vance Graham Community College, we had a program that was specifically based on the Warren County environmental justice movement and the protests.
Yeah.
So we likely still have some information on that, just as a sidebar. But that's the type of thing that I think this will do, is educate people on right here in their own county what's happened over the past 250 years. I think the other piece to that, and I think what you're getting at a little bit, is there room for, beside a history lesson, is there room for something that will empower folks and educate them moving forward? I don't want to speak for you, but is that what you're?
Actually, that's what I'm talking about, because, I mean, we have to read the reality of our community. Right? You know, like to learn the history of Vance County, because it's wonderful. I learned some dates, things that happened, like I attended this institute, I know about all that, but I learned the history, so what?
Right.
I mean, what does it do for me today?
Well, it's important, as you've heard.
No, I mean, it's not important.
Yeah.
But I mean, that when you want a person to be empowered to action now, based on whatever it is that one is presenting to them. I mean, otherwise, why do it? If you want to go and be entertained, okay, wonderful. I'm inspired by music that uplifts me. You know, if I want to watch a movie and I see someone who did a wonderful job, and in their lives, they sacrificed, maybe they died, it's wonderful. But my reality in 2025 is this. This is the climate of Henderson, of the county. It's the climate of the educational system. That's the reality. That's what people are. So when they come to things, or perhaps there are special things that can address those kinds of things. Like, for me, like if I can do something that will empower a person's self-worth, their dignity, who they are as individuals, to be, the history would be pride in that I can't let history define whether it was appropriate or not, who I am as an individual. No one can define who I am. I define that. But how do I define it? So then there are ways to do that, of examination, of self-examination, those kinds of things that would just, I think that it would leave something with people of the county so that they would be better individuals, better in the sense that they know their own particular worth, their standards. They're not going to be dissuaded by government or rules or some opinion that's not something that they appreciate or go along with, but they're not going to let those kinds of things define who they are. Because, as a gift of birth and my own intellect and my special talents, I have something that I can offer to society, whether you recognize it or not. And if you do, then that's fine. But if you don't, it's okay. That's fine. We're all free to do what we like. So that's just what I'm thinking about. I think all of this is wonderful. But I was just wondering if there are pieces that could do that kind of action oriented from some of the things that are going on. And the reason I'm so passionate about it is because that's what I do. I mean, I'm, the events are wonderful, but what happens to people internally, that's lasting. That's something that's going on. Like if I have a problem with an older white person, and she and I are together in a meeting, and we can talk about what those things are. If that doesn't happen, we're gonna still have problems with each other. So we have to consciously address issues that are current in the society. And then from those things, then hopefully a person will leave from those events and they will feel more empowered. It's hard to be able to, to look at that and to give, okay, this happened, so when people came and they were, you can't test those kinds of things. But if you're in the space, you had at least the experience of what it's like there, the energy from that room, the comments you gave people. Anyway, that's right, that's why I put it out there.
How come you didn't join the board?
And,
I mean, we
and,
tried for 10 months to get members.
but even with that, you're here, so
Right.
Thank you.
we accept all
Right.
suggestions. If you have specific suggestions, we'll add it in, I think.
I have no problem with it. I just, it's a good voice.
Here's what I have assumed that the history does for people in terms of empowerment. Here I live in little old Henderson, North Carolina. What good ever came out of here? Whatever happened here? Well, some people here bought the state of Kentucky and the northern half of the state of Tennessee. That happened here. And they were just the same kind of people that live here now. And they got together and did that. They hired Daniel Boone and built the Wilderness Road through the woods and opened Tennessee and Kentucky and the American West. Or you have John Chavis, born slave near here. He fought in the Revolutionary War, got educated, and became the most educated African American in America before the Civil War. And that happened to somebody who preached right around here and did things right around here. And here in Henderson, North Carolina, where there was no hospital to take a black person to in 1911. Dr. Cotton gave 10 acres of land or an acre of land, whatever it was, and persuaded the United Presbyterian Church to build a hospital right over there. That was one of only 9 in the state of North Carolina. And people here from James Hunter Young, who was born a slave right down the street behind Mistletoe Villa, went to a historically black university early on, Shaw University, and worked his way into acquiring the Raleigh Gazette, which became the most important black-owned newspaper in North Carolina. And he became the most significant black political figure then or ever since in North Carolina. And it all happened here, and it's supposed to, they're supposed to give the idea that no matter what the obstacles are that I'm facing, plenty of people from here, plenty of them, have done things significant on the national, the state, and have done things to create things right here in the community that benefited people generation after generation. And if they can do it, why can't people right now do it? So I think that was what history used to teach people, that many of the figures in history really came from nothing. And they achieved remarkable things. And the idea it was supposed to generate in people's minds, or I can do it too.
Just add this I'm just talking from a curriculum standpoint. So I appreciate what you're saying, because definitely we want to take history and have our students take informed action. And so in our lesson plans and what we do in social studies is actually go through that process, that they learn the knowledge, but then they learn to take the knowledge and apply it to action. So if they learn something about I don't know, World War II and the problems of resolutions, then they create a resolution. So we'll be able to look at ways to have them take informed action, because you want student agency, and I want student agency. I want them to feel like they can do things with what they learn. So.
And I understand that. I mean, like my field is education as well. I mean, the principles and stuff like that. I understand that. But I keep talking about our current reality. Our current reality. For instance, like the examples that you just gave, those are your examples. And those things that you look at and you revere. This person did this. If you tell somebody this person, like if it's a minority, the person did all these things, look how great they are. Pull yourself up by there. Because this person did, pull yourself up by your boots, If you don't have boots, you can't pull them up. I mean, there are all kinds of things out there that can inspire people, depending upon their own history. And like now, what is the current climate in Henderson, North Carolina, in the United States? What is it? It's not those things. Education is looked down on, all kinds of stuff is happening. I mean, that's the current reality. The racial situation is outrageous. Everything promotes separation, division, everything promotes it. And you have pockets that are doing something different, they are just pocket over here, pocket over there. So like when we talk about like this celebrating 250 years of existence, even the idea of celebrating that, to many people is repulsive.
Right.
It's repulsive. I mean, that's the reality. To many people, it's repulsive. Celebrate what? What are we celebrating? Okay, things could have been, they can be worse, and they can be. But if we learn that the reality of who we are is self-empowerment, is self-worth. Our systems don't teach that. Our current systems,
Well,
they
actually,
give praise to
actually,
certain groups.
yeah, I was going to say to your point, because I think it's valid. So my expertise is entrepreneurship. I'm the vice president of community college, Dr. Jerry Edmonds. I don't throw my doctor name around there, but it is as well. And so that's kind of my sweet spot is entrepreneurship. And those are things that are empowering youth, especially right now, right? You can teach right now that you can have an entrepreneurial mindset. And that doesn't mean that you go out and start Sadie's Cafe tomorrow. You can if you want to, but just the ability to think entrepreneurially and innovatively is empowering, because I do it with over 500 to 1,000 youth every year free of charge. So there's a number to, I think what you're getting at, there's a number of programs that we might incorporate into what we're doing with this. Your point is valid. To some folks, America 250, it may be repulsive. To one, it may be repulsive. To another, it may be lauded, right? Last week, I'm the president of the Henderson Rotary, and we had 4 Rotarians who fought in Vietnam give their stories about how they fought for this country. It's not repulsive for them.
Yeah.
It's not repulsive for them. It's very much a source of pride, and they went and they saw their comrades die. I saw on television, and then I think we should move on. It's my humble opinion, because we all have to go. But there's a football player for the Eagles, for the Philadelphia Eagles, offensive tackle, African-American male, and he told the story of his father, who died at age 25 in Vietnam, and how they were under attack by the enemy, and they were literally in foxholes, and grenades would come in, and the soldiers would go out, and they repeated this rhythm over and over, and then one came in that they didn't see, and his dad jumped on it to save 5 other guys that were in the foxhole with him. All white. He was black. He gave up his life for these other, I think 4 or 5 other guys. So for that young man who's playing in the NFL now, who right now is age 25 himself, that's a history lesson that's real for him, And it was real enough for him to share that with the nation during the Sunday night football game.
I agree. I served in the military myself, so I'm aware of all that, but the point that I'm making is not negating that. I'm talking about the climate of what all this is in our country now. We can't overlook that.
That's right.
If no one's
Copy
talking
this, this is the themes of North Carolina, Tim's not just making it up because he likes those people.
no.
We actually have themes that we're supposed to do, that maybe you didn't see the sheet.
Right.
Right, which is
No,
why
I
he's
think
sticking
it's-
with the North Carolina themes. To get the grant, we're supposed to cover a large section. Right.
No, that's fine. I understand that. So-
No, but we,
Yeah.
I also think, because what I'm hearing from you and from Mr. Blackburn as well, is that, we need a purpose. What is our purpose for the America 250? And what do we want people to take away from the events that we are planning? Because to put on events, just to put on an event, and like you stated about, it makes us feel good, but I want it to make people feel good
lots of us
for
have
a long,
copies of
long
that.
time. Not just during that particular event and it's something they forget about.
Yeah.
That's how passionate it is for me.
I'm gonna
I
throw
wanna
one
have a
more thing.
purpose
Yeah.
and make it a meaningful purpose.
I'm trying to hit all of these, Jerry. I had thought that if we approach the school to do a mural of all these themes, to have the kids pick and choose.
I'll take one, but
That was one of the things, is I was looking up, what are other North Carolina and other states and other counties in America that all have to try to hit these themes, right, as best they can. But we let them, because it's their continuing quest for freedom. As soon as they get freedom, you turn your back, you lose it. We've all seen that. That's our environment now. But let them choose these topics and possibly do a mural in Henderson. That the kids, so we'd only have to pay the materials for the actual paint.
Definitely on Monday, I can talk to Mr.
Right.
Markoch about that. That sounds like a very, good idea.
Because then it's their point of view.
Yeah.
They're involved, it's their lives every day.
Yeah.
No, I like that idea. Why don't we do a contest? We did a contest with Dawn.
Right.
How we was gonna design the court, the basketball court, using the schools.
Yeah.
And that point of view, I'll take that idea.
Okay.
So what we did was on Arts Alive, after Arts Alive, for Chestnut Court, we asked the kids to design what they think the court should look like.
Nice.
Well, we got 2 submissions, but because it was so authentic, it was hard to do. We couldn't, the person was doing like, look, we can't do this. So this is gonna be a $100,000, $75,000 to $100,000 job based off this drawing. But I think that we should sort of make this another contest where these kids from these themes, because we have Hispanic, we have
Right.
gay, right? So like
Exactly.
the community.
Yeah.
If we can sit there and make this into a contest where they show how they feel, what it means to them, then I think that's where it grasps on a lot of others, and they get the interaction between, if Arts Alive is like, this is probably a great point for them to sit there and do as a, what's the name? So I mind with that.
Excellent.
I saw that, I like putting it on them, it's their experience. I mean, for me to sit there and tell them, I can't do that, that's just not right, I don't wanna do that.
Cause you gotta think about, Vance County painting this mural out here.
Right.
High school, some of the middle school, high school painting this mural right beside on this building.
We got a lot of buildings that might look really good if they're painted. They look pretty, but it's something that can be upkeep, the upkeep can happen, it's something that's gonna stay, it's gonna be lasting, it's their point of view, it's their experience. Because they're gonna see it completely different, because I'm not them.
Yeah.
That's where every one of these can be incorporated.
Yeah, and
Every one of them.
And there's
you
only,
don't have-
exactly,
Yeah.
every one of these can be incorporated, but we can do we need a whole theme, which could be just a contest in itself, but then we need all the pieces as well. And we can do more than one person's point of view, there could be more than one contest winner, with
But
two
no,
separate points of
I'm
view, just on
But
like
the-
LGBTQ.
Yeah, you can have that, what I'm saying, you can
Right.
probably have that, each theme
Right,
as a contest, in its own individual contest. What's your what's like,
Right.
personal disabilities, you know?
Materials would vary us. I mean, we're looking at $10,000, that's all we have, but maybe we could get the fire department involved or something, because the kids have to paint, and it's gonna be a building.
But even, not even a mural, let them paint their own example first. If they win, we find a place to put it.
Oh, see, I was just thinking the side of the building in Henderson, and you have the kids like
No,
they do.
it's a mural ordinance, so we gotta.
Well, that's why you're here. I don't know anything about a mural
It's a mural
ordinance.
ordinance, so
Like they're displayed at the
they,
school
we
level.
display it at the
that's
school,
been
do a
doing-
contest for each
right.
experience, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, so at Arts Live, of course, y'all might know that the artwork is displayed, like it's moved into central office every year, and then every year, rotates and moves around, and then the other people get a chance to maybe vote on it or something like that as well, and then it's put in the Center for Innovation as well. So, I mean, again, I'll talk to Mr. Markoch. That sounds like that was kind of what I was thinking the other day when we were talking about how to involve them.
I think we should definitely involve them.
I think you use those themes and, cause it's all elementary, middle school.
Right.
I mean, if you do it that way, you already got, what is it,
But if we're trying to get.
The only themes thus far, I mean, I like that idea, but you're saying we can do that and.
and,
We
yeah,
have,
and.
Right.
between Tim and I, Tim has immigration, he has regulators, he has westward expansion, I have protests. Tim has American Indian experience, I have Latinx, Tim has Black experience. So the only three that are missing that we don't really, other than the mural currently, is LGBT,
LGBTQ plus. Yeah.
plus disability,
Right,
and women, families, and children.
right.
So,
Women, families, children is the foundation of our society.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys are not doing this, it's over.
Yeah.
I am not your
So do you
typical woman to be talking to anybody.
oh man, so do you think we should make,
But it's simple. Yeah, there you go.
But what I was gonna say, that doesn't mean we have to,
yeah,
we have to do this work, it's just we're the curator,
Right,
whoever says, hey, I'm gonna take on women,
right.
families, and children, you can be a guy, take it on. We're just the curator of the information, I think.
Okay, but you're gonna present to the school just to see?
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
I think that's a really good idea. That kind of fits the Arts Alive
Right,
format in the past,
okay.
so.
There's only two going on in all of North Carolina that took mural money for grants. And one is in Waynesville, and it was the Major General Anthony Wayne, the crazy Anthony Wayne. They're doing a humongous mural just on that. So not everybody is trying to do what North Carolina wants. They've decided to promote their and that's costing $21,000. Actually, I think it was more than that. I think it was 27, and they had to put out of their pocket another 4,000. I'm like, because they hired a expert artist to do the mural. All right. Not in our wheelhouse,
Here,
but
Yes, but,
what were the ones that were not,
women,
no information?
families, and children,
Mhm.
LGBTQ experience,
and
and
disability.
disability experience.
I don't have American Indian experience.
Oh, I thought that, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I've
so
got
mention
westward
of Cherokee.
expansion, and
Right,
I've got Cherokees
Right,
and
I saw
westward
that.
expansion, but
right.
there were no, local settlements of Indians here, but there were Indian artifacts that did hunt in the area.
Okay.
I could do that,
Uh-huh.
I can add that.
And you can also look at native-land.ca and see which native groups were on this particular, because there's some overlapping sovereignty here. So I think a lot of this, I would have to look, but you could look at that. And then that gives you an opportunity to go to that particular tribe and have that conversation with them. I can do that.
All right.
And isn't there an indigenous group that's here in Henderson base? I thought I met someone like that recently.
If you know of them, please.
I just met an individual, he thought he was indigenous, and he was because I was concerned about the pocket of indigenous people who are here, to know who they are and that whole thing.
I know two
I think
people
you're
that belong to the Cherokee Nation. I could ask them what their suggestion would be to expand it beyond, because they do a speakership just to explain what it's like today to live as part of the Cherokee Nation.
I think the Halawa Sapani, I think their sovereignty was here, if I remember from the map. And they're just in Hollister.
Right.
Okay, so you're on.
So, closer to the sources.
But if we're gonna do the art thing, then that might hit some of the ones that we don't have.
Right.
Because I mean, we still have civil rights movement. So there's still, they can hit more than just gathering their voices, they can go to the visions of freedom. The students may actually have,
Yeah,
There are
and you have
meanings.
to think, you gotta think of the themes as like, maybe a student is doing artwork and is expressing their disability experience and through that theme, and that does make that connection.
right, give them a lot of options. And then, that's what I would do, is I would just give them the options and,
And as we stated last meeting, some of this is, it's already there. The Halifax-
Yeah.
Right.
Halifax resolves, there's a
I know.
bunch of stuff in Halifax County.
well, not terribly, but they have a very small agenda where they just repeat the same agenda.
Right, exactly.
Right. But
Which
they
is the
can,
best form of marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. Same thing over and over.
yes, yeah, I know, I'm there, I'm attentive.
Okay, so where are we on the agenda?
Well, we kind of bounced around and did a lot of the stuff. So we still have tourism and July 4th coordination, Pam, but she's not here.
But I think you covered that. You said you talked about July 4th and Juneteenth.
Yeah, Pam, because Pam was doing that, all that we need is, anybody taken up I remember something about developing a logo of Vance County.
Yeah, that got sent out, and they
Yeah.
actually did it. It's a little,
And I couldn't access it.
oh, I got it, yeah.
I'd love to see what it is.
Yeah.
I've got to put it on the banners.
It's square, it's not round. Not that matters.
And I guess the banner thing is, you probably need to go ahead and say that this banner is fine with length, but it's 6 inches too wide for the brackets.
Oh, that's good enough. So what happened with the banner? It was fitted and it doesn't fit?
It's 6 inches too wide, but it fits
Length,
the,
it fits.
the height.
But we would have to
is
buy upper and lower brackets.
No. If you wanna use this one, this right here,
Right,
you're gonna have to buy.
right.
I'm be honest, it's too much. You need to modify that unless they do make it 6
fine.
inches.
Yeah, that's easy, because we haven't produced them yet.
Right, that's just
That's-
one demo. Okay, so I just write it down so that I know. So
Yeah.
it's 6 inches too wide.
And then you gotta order, 61 more.
Right.
For the 21.
Because there's 64 in place now, brackets.
Right,
And that means we need an additional 61 if we're able to develop banners for the whole 125. But we don't know that we're gonna be able to do that, so we would of course start with
This one.
and your criteria is if you don't have a photo, you're not doing the banner. Is that it?
So the two different ideas have been proposed if you don't have a photo. One is put the seal of the service branch,
Right.
in the place of the photo. And one is if there is a grave site, particularly if they were buried like at Arlington Cemetery, or they're buried overseas in Europe.
Yeah,
There
France,
is a
Italy.
standard kind of cross that is put over military people. And,
Yes, I'm all aware of that. Yeah,
and so you would put that in the place.
Right.
But we haven't resolved that yet as to what to do.
I found 10 this week.
Photos
Yeah.
that were not shown as photos already,
Yes.
that is great.
Yeah, it didn't take me much time because, so
Okay.
I should be able to hit a lot more.
Okay,
But I have already, and I sent one out to you already.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you saw it in the email.
I saw that you sent,
Him,
yes,
right, excellent photo. He looks like a baby. I mean, he died right after this photo, and then, Henderson High School year.
Wow.
So, but this really bangs home, because if you put somebody in a uniform, they look so much older. But this is the young man that died for our freedom to fight, and it's just a heartbreak.
Mhm.
And, I have, this one here is he had actually visited his uncle and was killed 2 weeks later. And the uncle says, oh, Elmo actually came and visited me. He was in the dispatch in 1944. And they actually did a little story on it, and they sent a letter in there. It's like, Elmo came here, he visited me, everything was good, he's going to die 2 weeks later. Yeah, and his uncle was only 24 at that time. He survived, but they're both from Henderson.
but I think we want to have them in uniform if we can. And I'm wondering, can we AI him into a uniform?
But why do you want to hide the fact that this is the boy who died? Why do you want to put him in a uniform if you can't get in the uniform? I mean, you're trying to relate to everybody, not just veterans, right?
Because at the instant that he died, he was wearing that uniform. And that uniform was the connection between him and the mortal event, I think.
He died of heat stroke.
Huh?
He died of heat stroke.
And while in uniform, in the,
No way to know, right?
Huh?
No way to know, but I
I mean,
assume he was in uniform.
I mean, was he in battle? He was in.
Yeah,
battle.
he was
in
ill,
battle.
and he was hospitalized for a while, then they sent him back out, and it's, obviously he was still ill and shouldn't have gone back out. Yeah.
And I misspoke.
Then he died of heat stroke.
And I misspoke a few moments. It was that gentleman's grandson who Babs it. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, son of my boy,
No,
and he's
that
so young.
That was the gentleman's grandson that now plays for
Yeah,
the Eagles. Yeah. But it's, obviously that story has resonated through their family for years.
Right. And the Henderson Dispatch had done a tremendous amount on the veterans, where they actually follow them. And here, this one, you want him in uniform. He's here in town because he's holding the photo. So I should be able to find him. This is on the Henderson Dispatch in 2015. And he was, his remains weren't brought back from Korea for 65 years until they did DNA. He had 12 brothers, and this is the only brother that survived. And his DNA matched. And the dispatch followed him, went the airplane coming in, photos of the casket, and he's in a wheelchair, bringing his older brother in after 65 years. And I thought, boy, that is just such a excellent story, but we should be able to get the photo because he's got it right there. He's holding it in his hand. And I think the niece is still alive.
I like that, I understand what you're trying to do with the military image and the stories, and, the variety increases the opportunity to reach more people. Like, even the basic things, like what our military people do when they go over, they've gone to Vietnam and all these other places. There are people who say, they shouldn't have been over there in the first place. I mean, that's the reality about history as well. They shouldn't have been there. There are people who opposed all of that. There are people today who oppose all of these kinds of things. And I don't think we should just ignore them, in what we're doing, because that's all part of 250 years. In the 250 years, that was also part of it. How many black people left the country, but all those other places, so we want to keep the history real. We don't want to shine, we want to show the shining face, but we also want to see the kinds of sacrifices that are different from people because they have different motives, and they react to them differently. So I think any kind of variety that you can add is worthwhile. I understand the idea about the uniform, I understand that. I understand also the idea that this little guy's young face, that's, some people think, oh my goodness, he was so young, he gave his life and all that, others will think, So I'm just saying, I think variety is always safer when you deal with public defense programs.
Yeah, with doing the uniforms and the ones you don't have in uniforms and the crosses. Because it really brings it home, for everybody.
And that's, the protest is on here. That's one of the areas that we're gonna focus on. Because you're right, I mean, during the Vietnam War especially, that was highly protested. And there are, there's a
Like
lot of
even today,
components.
if you were to say tomorrow, serving in the military is going to be compulsory, it's a law. You would have an uproar, you have an uproar. Although, I know that
People get
is.
drafted,
No,
the jobs to draft back then.
I know, terrible comments.
Just so you would ask.
The people's opinion that say they should not have been there
And I did have some of
doesn't
you,
disregard the fact
but
that
I
they
told
were
them about
there.
what I did.
That's
Did you
Well, that is, I
photographs?
mean,
Which
that
one
was
was that? I
right,
just
and
wanted
it
to give
was
you
real, and a lot of people don't
the photos.
even
Yes.
see it as
Just
real.
I've got it.
You know.
Okay, well, she didn't look at the book, I guess, because you have a lot of photos that, yeah, like, you have no photo for him, he's, there he is. There's quite a few.
It's quite.
Anyway, I made you copies.
I'm glad that,
Yeah.
you can stay on this.
And I did make a list, I just didn't.
No, I'm glad, because I want that
I
connection.
didn't-
I want that connection, definitely with the group.
I actually did get someone to start giving me a hand with it, so this is so overwhelming. And I have another book.
And I misspoke, it wasn't the Halawa Sapani, it was the Okinichi Sapani. I looked it up.
They're up there in Virginia, like, Clarks, is it Clarksville?
I'm not sure, I would have to look that one up, but when you look at the map, you can, they actually documented it all out, where everybody was.
I think there's. a
Sam, I looked in
park
the
up state.
Perry Library, and they don't have that. I had to spend the day not.
The Okinichi, there's an Okinichi Park
But
right
now,
outside
now, of course, I own it.
Okinichi.
I went through the search
Okay,
engine, I'm like,
okay,
how come we don't have the Vance County Heritage two-volume set? But they don't have it.
What's, you mentioned a mural, there's a mural, we have to look for it. Statues or something here, and what is it?
Is it like a rooster?
How does it?
No, so,
You say there's
so my-
ordinance, there's like a mural.
Well, yeah.
Ordinance.
There's a mural ordinance, it's basically saying that you cannot advertise with a mural.
Okay.
Is that what we're doing?
No, he was just asking a question.
No, I'm asking you, because I had actually thought about the mural. It morphed into something else, but why
No, so-
couldn't we do the mural?
No, as long as it's not advertising a business or something else, you can have a mural,
Right,
but
okay.
it's gotta have certain standards, so that's all. it is.
Is there
So would
anything
America
within this zone that doesn't,
250, is that?
that doesn't make?
No, just can't advertise a private business.
Yes.
That's all that is.
I thought the kids would be able to mural here.
If we were to do the mural and
So, but they still gotta go to city council.
That's the
approval and
brand,
stuff like
that's
that.
Okay.
So,
So that shouldn't be
US.
terrible for us.
no, it shouldn't be, like I said, that's the end product of them doing their submission, then winning the prize or where, finding buildings that,
It's not like we don't have a ton of them here that really could use some stuff.
but again, just one of those situations where city looks at how you gonna maintain it. Cause we got one on Montgomery Street that
Right.
we're struggling with right now.
Mm.
So,
How long does this process take if we were to say we want to do it?
I don't think it would take that entirely that long, it's just really because of the effort that the community has put into it, it's just finding the right building where we're gonna put it at.
You know, that was something we could actually get done before July,
Yes.
and it really includes the kids, and we should be able to get it updated, repaired, you know, as it needs to be done.
And does that, I'm assuming that would require like a professional, there's a difference between doing, I would think.
No.
Thanks.
No,
The students,
they did,
Vance County Schools, did this mural right here.
Everybody.
no assistance from a professional.
No,
The gentleman that did the Benny King mural, that looked pretty detailed to me.
I
yeah,
actually came out here and
So you
watched the
legend.
kids as they.
No, it was all Vance County
They
schools.
were absolutely amazing. to watch.
and like I said, a lot
And
of
they
this
just
stuff like,
pride in their work.
but I think like
Yes.
I
What
don't
he's
know what
talking
photos
about,
you have.
I think
It just
that
says
if we
photo
use
in
our
uniform, great
kids,
photo in
it's gonna
uniform.
spark
So
something
I
where
don't
they
know if
want.
I'm the same photos.
It's just like the quiz bowl. Like they found out so much about what we start
No,
doing,
online.
And,
I don't know, I researched
and
online,
why
and
he's so stern
because
on Humphrey, not calling
Okay.
Humphrey.
the other ones they didn't have.
Like,
Yeah.
it was so funny,
That's why
a kid,
I
he was
wrote
coaching a 10 to 12 team,
CHNC.
and the kid was involved with the Boys and Girls Club with
Okay.
the Chris
But
Bowl.
this is the other one.
And
The
he
younger
messed around and said,
age.
how you doing, Humphrey? He gave him a spell
And
it out
that's
and
the
said,
thing,
why?
it just-
And that kid like, now I respect it, why? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I think the selective ideas of events that we do is gonna be very important. You know, cause me, we talk about the protest,
I gave
I'm
you
sitting there and say, we
This
learn about the
one
protest,
is
and
much
I started arguing
better
out
than
loud,
DCF.
yes and no.
It's much
You know what I'm
better,
saying?
much better. The other
So,
one was
like-
high school
I
photo,
fully
this
think
is a
more that we
photo
can
study.
incorporate the
It's a
younger,
lot clearer.
well, young adults and that age group
Nobody's in this.
of children.
It's on
I
my
think we will be,
Correct.
you know, that's where
Because I don't have a legend, so it makes it hard for me to
America.
see exactly what you're doing.
Because they are,
Do you know what GML stands for?
they're gonna be the history
But I think
ever in 300, at 300, America 300. They're gonna own that. Well,
But you-
50 years ago, this is what I,
But
you know.
you don't
Okay,
want
sure.
to need to contact Henderson Collegiate for their band. They actively participate. But someone needs to get, again, I think we possibly need to get Alice Stallings involved with the art council. The reason why is she's not connected to a lot of people that we might not, that does these things.
Okay,
or
but
somebody
I
that-
located to
You know what I'm saying?
Because when you're reading
I didn't know
that,
what to make.
that,
That was like, no, legend.
they're
Yeah.
talking to their parents about it.
Yeah.
Some of them unfortunately are not,
Okay.
because their parents don't have it. We cannot,
Right,
we
yeah.
can't hold
But
that.
in the books, they are
Others that
located.
are thriving
It gives you the
and want
exact.
to stay
Right.
here
Yeah.
in Vance County and want
Just
to
didn't
make
wanna-
a prosperous move.
And
I
a
want you
couple
to
of the
find-
names
I want
were
you to find
wrong,
out what's the name.
so I fixed them.
The Sonny
Like
Kelly.
Bird is.
Yeah, Sonny Kelly, I'll send that to you.
I wanna find out. that-
Yeah.
But you have
what's that
George
conversation?
and.
Yeah, he was,
Okay.
And that's why, maybe why she has no
And
information on
maybe
anything,
a component to.
that's why, so it's on my list.
How is that assisting us now and into the future is that we could do a contest with the youth that says, you know, how is America gonna look in your eyesight with AI, technology? What do you envision this looking like 50 years from now?
Because we're already looking at putting uniforms on people we don't have, pictures of with uniforms on. What is it going to be like in 50 years?
Yeah, I saw on television last night, you know, our, because I'm a baby boomer, okay, so full disclosure, I'm a baby boomer, I'm a 60s kid. And back then, the Jetsons, right,
Mhm.
that's here. They just
Yes.
showed a car last night, and did y'all see that? The prototype was in Northampton County, at the race, they have a little racetrack up there. And it's a car that drives on the road,
Mhm.
goes into the air. 25, right now it's only a 25-mile radius that it can go, but it's electric. It's out of California. It costs almost $200,000. You don't even need a license. You need a license to fly a drone. You don't need a license to drive this car, this flying automobile that they just did a test run right here in Northampton County. And the gentleman that went up, of course, the newscaster asked him, you know, about safety, and I forgot how many times. He's been up like hundreds. It looks simple, but this thing literally flies. It's a car that flies. This is the day. It's coming fast, and the thing is, this is coming fast.
And like I said, I think that's a great idea. We got the artistic kids who can draw and use their hands and got that eye. You got those kids that code.
Yeah.
And that might be two contests you can do at the same time, because I actually just visited the middle school,
Yeah.
Manly, today, and the kids were coding.
Yes.
And then, I hate to say it, it was more focused in coding than in English.
Right.
Right,
I'm talking about something like he could articulate what he wanted with no problem. You know what I'm saying? It was quiet and it was focused. It was,
I can only make a train go around my computer, I can do that code.
you
I
really
can
hear
go-
me.
I add a card to it every now and then, it's simple code, you learn the small stuff, that's like all I can maybe do too much.
And just to put it out there, I just been thinking about what we've been saying here. Yeah, and I know this is early, but if as the activities develop, and if you would like, I'd be happy to facilitate a couple of sessions that deal with the self-empowerment piece.
Hold on, man, you are my Vince schedule.
Okay, that's it. But I'm just putting it out there.
I would be fine with that.
I'm just putting it out there. This whatever you.
So I'm an overachiever, I don't, you know, it's hard for me to talk to anybody. But I intimidate more than I actually educate or anything, so.
And that's part of the creating the climate so that people are honest and comfortable and respectful, but yet dealing with
Yeah.
truth.
As a woman, you can do anything.
Yeah.
I just decided I wanted to do everything.
Oh, well.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, no, you can do it.
You can.
You can do it.
So-
Nobody can stop you. You can
Yeah.
do it. That's our history, right? Women have to validate, prove, be equal. I think.
I did not want any credit for being a woman.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to be was the best I could be in the field,
Exactly.
which just means I have to be better than a man because there's almost no women in my field.
Well,
So that's why I'm saying I'm an overachiever.
Men don't have much, don't have many wonderful things to show for their being in charge. If you look at the history of this planet, women didn't do that, men did that, so there's nothing to be proud about there, so.
Well,
We need to
nonetheless.
get more like women, I think, that, the intuitiveness, the passion, all of those kinds of things that we crush out of our boys when they're young, don't cry
I
about
would
stuff.
purchase that book.
Do we have anything else on
All
the
right.
agenda to cover? And something that Renee said in one of her emails was about a budget.
Yeah, I saw the budget. But the problem is, originally we were gonna try to just, like the ASF, make other people's events better. But now we're actually talking about hosting events. So it's hard to figure out, we need the dates and we need to figure out the money. I mean, I had read this 10 months ago, that this would be a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
And we don't know how long it takes to release the 10,000. And do they want it in segments? I mean, there's so many things about the budget we don't know.
Well, I think one of the things that, I mean, I can speak only for me, with my budget. I'm just attaching things to it. So, only thing I'm worried about is Mr. Kelly and how much he costs, because I think that our kids would love to see
They would
that.
love to see that.
And our kids would love to see that because they never seen one. Like, people just don't know, like, we had to go to Hillside last year to see, my cast for, what's Vance? I can't think of the producer's name, the director's name. And we took a rich youth and they said they're gonna watch the whole play. And it was so funny because somebody that I thought they was going because they want to get community service hours. They said, so when we going to go back to another play? Because they never been experienced to it, And so like, I do think that if the more opportunities we give our youth, black, white, or green, Haitian, wherever it is, opportunity to see things like that, it will spark the interest, like, what's going on, like, well, I already know they died because of that, because it's one of the things we do is when we watch a play, my staff is asking questions for awards, and the ones who get the awards, you can tell they really was paying attention, so. I think the budget part is if there's any event that y'all are trying to host, trying to host yourself, that might come down to, we gotta rent some facilities, hopefully we don't, or we gotta get some more materials on board the 10,000 and the 38,000, I think the county is willing to do it because it's a monumental event, just need to know, she probably just wanna know that number.
No, this has to be sent to North Carolina to get the 10, I assume it's to get the 10 release from North Carolina, or is this to get the 10 release from Vance County? I didn't understand Renee's question, the budget.
So I guess it's the banners.
No, is the money actually in Vance County, or does North Carolina have the money still? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, are we trying to write a budget
That's
for
a
North
live
Carolina?
question.
That is I do not have the answer.
Well, maybe you could ask
Yeah.
Franklin to actually, so we know who we're writing the budget for, because
So-
North Carolina is
Yeah.
very strict.
Can someone,
Yeah, and
yeah.
Right.
I mean, I asked Renee about it, but she sitting there this evening the other day about, you can change, I was like, God, man, all right. So I will ask myself again.
Yeah, because
All of
I'm not
that,
sure who we're trying
all
to
of-
get released.
All was on the email I need to ask, but I asked that you send me emails so I can understand as well.
And anything to your point, Kendrick, anything that, I can work through Vance Scramble, so I can tell you without question, like the entrepreneurial, the innovativeness, that I can fund that through my budget. I can even hire folks to do some of that, so happy to help there.
So you see me get Kelly?
Depends on folks' price tags.
If you can find out for more, give me the contact.
I don't like to say no to
Yeah,
opportunities.
he was awesome.
You know, folks coming in. Well, I'm not listening.
I did not get a chance to read your subcommittee info, the people that you picked out to be on what committee, doing what jobs.
Yes.
Right.
So obviously, I was just, from who has talked about things the last time, I
Right.
put people in that way, and how you all want to do it, or even if you want to have subcommittees, that's fine. I have enough time to be able to devote to developing those banners for
Right.
the streets and the trackable banners. And I can work with, Jerry and Tim, on those, what banners I can help develop. And, you know, we've got the funding for up to 40. I can work on that.
So we still have to get the price of what it's gonna cost for the extra brackets. Just go with that budget.
Kendrick already
Kendrick
found
has
that.
that information.
It's $31.90
Oh,
for
thank you.
extra brackets.
Have to be ordered in bulk.
Yes.
He suggested that we order for the city and we pay. That there's a relationship already established with the city.
So it would be $1,800 roughly
Okay,
to fill out the, brackets that we
And
might,
that is
we might
definitely
need.
the way to go, because there was how many?
61.
60.
60, so we gotta get 61.
Yeah.
The 64, we need 61 more. So if we,
We're halfway there, that's great.
like I said, I'll just go ahead and, tell them that we want 61, go ahead and get that invoice. And I guess probably the easiest way, I just let where they know that's the additional 250 cost, so they can get it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
and the QR code on the banner, we were talking about the hosting and that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming it's like a hologram, that information behind the QR code can change and be updated at any time. So if we don't actually have all the information on one specific veteran yet, the QR code's there, and as we continue to develop it, we can add it to it. The code stays the same.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
I wasn't planning for QR codes on the veterans, I was planning for QR codes.
it's on the retractable
banners.
banner.
Oh, okay. Not on the veterans. So the veterans, if they want to know any information about it, they have to go to the Perry Library. There'll be one single book there, right?
Go to the library.
It won't hurt people. It's
It's all about this pretty guy.
And we can use,
Folks like, what's that? What's a library?
we use Canva to develop those banners. Like if you provided me the content and the pictures, I could start, designing them in Canva pretty quickly.
Yeah, canvas fast.
That's great, because the price on the retractable banners, he said, that the price will come down if he gets them if he receives them camera ready.
And now I'll do the research on that in Canva, like how can you make that sure that that happens?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could do that,
Okay.
because I'm not the historian in this case.
Oh, yeah, yes.
You are.
No, we're just not done. Okay, so do we have anything else we have to discuss? Is there anything you want to say? No, sir? We're all good? Okay, then I guess we're adjourned.
So are we meeting again next week, or can we now work through subcommittees, or are we going to be
Well,
subcommittees?
I don't know that we agreed to be on that subcommittee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I hadn't actually looked at it yet.
Yeah, I think, I like the idea of reporting stuff back prior to, so if I hear anything from the federal hall, I will report that back to everyone.
Right.
And that's a good idea to do, so we don't have to talk about that particular thing when we get in again, we'll know what's going on.
Did you talk to Mark Pace about being on the subcommittee?
No,
Were you gonna bring it up till Monday?
yeah,
Yes.
probably at the meeting.
I probably have to meet.
Well, actually, I owe him a call, he's called me twice in the last few days, and I haven't returned the call.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, ask him what his new appointment is. Let him be the one to tell you how he has a new appointment.
Well, I know what I need him for, and I don't need him to leave his office to do it.
Okay.
He can do everything I want, and he
He's
never
hardly
has to.
there now. He's still on call.
Are we meeting next week?
Do we think we'll have any answers on anything? We will, maybe,
If you,
but
if you don't mind, I'm
Because
not,
then-
I'm not gonna email, so someone can add me to the email, or I ask Ferdinand.
have you given us your email? I don't have.
Ferdinand, has it. He sent me all the information I asked for last time, so I asked him,
But if
Ferdinand.
I want a conversation with you,
Yeah, I'll tell him to send out an email. You can get my email now, that's what it's not.
that would be sweet.
That's something. I just got.
I'm good. You have all my information, right? So you don't need a card. You want a card?
Matter of fact, what I do is I got all your emails. So Ferdinand said, I'll just start email with.
So I just thought if we just did one email with the workers, you know, a couple of extra.
But I wanna attach you with Henderson Collegiate Band. They have a great band that participates in a lot of stuff. I will contact Alice Starr and see who she knows that probably default the date for your event. So you might do the orchestra, a couple local bands, you probably.
Battle of the Bands.
So this is going to be with that, the date is going to be announced,
We find out.
we know, so, okay.
But they are very educational, so like, they will say, well, 250, they might put together whatever summer or.
So you're contacting her?
I'll contact Al, if you can contact, Henderson Collegiate Band, and you'll give a mark off of all that town.
Monday.
Cause Alice had a drummer, you gotta be a drummer. So,
So are we meeting next Thursday?
Because the next Thursday is Thanksgiving, I suggest that we do meet next Thursday, if it's just briefly, just to touch base and see where we're at, and maybe we're concrete on the subcommittees, that's just what I think.
I'm fine with that.
I will have to email mine in. I have a professional development for my teachers that I have to put on, so.
So y'all think that's fine?
I do, because then the fourth, the evening of the fourth, I have another board meeting that I'm gonna be at.
And I'm gonna have Jerry with me on the 8th and probably
I'm
Mr.
just
One.
having to leave early.
so you're gonna be able to, so with the band, you'll be able to make the modifications?
So we're meeting,
And I'll get them to go ahead and order the what's name, and we'll go from there. I'll go, so we already have them, because they need to start picking them up soon.
yes. Renee did say something about, meeting earlier if possible.
No, she said 4. I mean, her email said we should meet at 4 because some people, and she was coming today, but she would have to leave by 5,
Yes, but
but
the,
that didn't happen.
It's not committed, so if y'all wanna sit there and change it, we can change it, so chair,
Right.
do y'all like meeting at 4, y'all wanna meet earlier?
4 o'clock still fine?
I'm fine with 4. Raise your hands, who's not fine. You have to hustle.
4 o'clock is fine with me.
4 is fine with me too. Yeah, that's why I didn't understand. Maybe she meant to put a different time in there, but it specifically said, I think it should continue at 4.
But,
We haven't changed it.
you already here at 7:30, Mr. Tim. So do you think moving up an hour will affect anybody?
Is wherever everybody wants it. I mean, I'm willing to abide by what everybody wants.
So is 4 good for you?
We don't, yeah.
Say,
Okay, of course,
Are we
fine.
gonna meet here or?
Which y'all, which space y'all like better?
I like this.
I like this because the camera's down by you. Instead of in my face, I'm like, well, I know I wore the green jacket last time, I don't know that.
Yeah, the space is available generally, so I think it's
Okay,
a safe bet.
can you put us on the calendar for that?
Absolutely.
All right, sounds great to me.
Yeah, this was fine.
Parking's better, yeah.
I went to the other place.
Yes, I like the parking.
Mhm.
Okay, that's it. That works, all right.
Get a cup of coffee.
Hey, you were going to